Have you ever loved a fearful avoidant partner? They beg for emotional intimacy, but they vanish when you offer it. They apologize for hurting you, but then they repeat the same behavior. They say they love you right before pushing you away. They make you feel like the problem for reacting to their chaos. If this pattern sounds familiar, you're with a fearful avoidant partner, a style that I have renamed loud, disorganized attachment style. It's a blend of anxious and avoidant attachment styles due to significantly increased childhood trauma and chaos. And it's loud because the outward expressions of that fear and chaos are disruptive to everyone around them, especially to their partners. If you're with a partner like this, I want to make this clear. We're not going to demonize them today because you love them. You want to learn how to master emotional intimacy with them in a way that leaves you both feeling calm and close, not chaotic or fearful. And I'm going to show you how to do exactly that. I'm Adam Lane Smith, the attachment specialist. I've been training and working in psychology and attachment for well over 16 years now. And I've worked with a tremendous number of disorganized attached clients. A lot of you here on this channel, hi guys, are disorganized attachment yourself, many of you loud, and you're here to learn about yourself too. Fantastic. This video is for partners of loud disorganized individuals, what we used to call fearful avoidant. But if you're all here to learn together, I'm glad to have you. Now, the difficult truth is that fearful avoidant partners, loud disorganized partners, are still reacting to the chaos of their childhood and the pain of past relationships. Your relationship is collateral damage in their ongoing battle against their fear. So to master emotional intimacy and to bring peace to the chaos, you need to understand the battle they're fighting, put an end to the war, and show them a better way of connecting. Once you do that, you can bring out their very best and connect in a way that feels safe and fulfilling to both of you. Long, peaceful nights together without fights, sabotage, or running away ever again. This video will help you accomplish all of those goals and show you how to establish true, lasting emotional intimacy as a couple. So, to get you started mastering emotional intimacy with your fearful, avoidant, loud, disorganized partner, let's talk first about how that partner, how their nervous system in particular, was formed in a chaotic response to their childhood. Let's go through their battle first and show you what's happening before we show you exactly how to get the intimacy you're looking for. Now let's talk about fearful, avoidant nervous systems, what I've called loud disorganized. I'm going to keep using both of those terms because a lot of you use the old classification. You haven't reprogrammed yet into the loud disorganized style programming yet. We'll get there. Okay. Fearful avoidant, one reason we have to shift away from that is it often gets mistaken for regular avoidant people who happen to have anxiety, which is not the same thing, okay? People that I talk to all the time still think fearful avoidant means an avoidant person who has fear. No, absolutely not. Disorganized, meaning cannot be neatly organized in either one. This is the blend of both anxious and avoidant, and then cranked up to 10 out of 10 in the loud disorganized style, okay? The problem is that they grew up with mixed signals. Their caregiver, as a child, their caregiver was both a source of comfort and terror. So they got love and comfort sometimes, and then absolute terror or abandonment, punishment, suffering. Oftentimes, loud disorganized comes from having at least one parent who had a personality disorder, sometimes both with personality disorders, or severe levels of trauma themselves, which they then inflict again on the child. Their amygdala was wired to expect betrayal or emotional whiplash back and forth at all times. So the amygdala, the fear center of the brain, is always waiting for cues of danger. And anything can be a cue of danger. Even neutral things can cue it in for danger. Cortisol, the stress hormone, remains massively high and dysregulated, out of control, to always be ready to adapt to the next quick turn, the next whiplash moment. Stress to them feels familiar, even in calm moments. In fact, calm moments are the most dangerous of all because you might relax into them and not catch the danger signal that you're about to be attacked. Now, there's a special hormone I've talked about a number of times here on this channel called oxytocin. It's the love hormone, the snuggle hormone, the warmth hormone, released in the absence of stress. To them, it's very unpredictable. They have to be saturated with it, overwhelmed, swept off their feet to feel it, and then it terrifies them. It feels unsafe and short-lived, so they feel a deep surging of affection, warmth, and passion. They dive into it with you and then get utterly terrified, pull away, and freak out. Their prefrontal cortex, the judgment center, the area of their brain, struggles to regulate their own emotions because in childhood, it doesn't form properly. It doesn't even track what the dangers are. So it's endlessly just giving in to panic that fast to switch over the limbic system instead. The emotions swing back and forth way too fast to even track. Logic goes away and fades under pressure. And you have a dorsal vagus nerve that can shut down, or a sympathetic nervous system that tries to amp up, and it competes back and forth. Should I shut down or should I amp up? Shut down and go flat and miserable and freeze, or amp up and be terrified? Your feet freeze, or your fight responses get triggered in intimacy, back and forth. Freeze up, flee and escape, attack. And then dopamine spikes comes with chaos. Chaos, and then overcoming that chaos actually rewards them. Jumping into chaos rewards them. It makes drama feel like connection. Massive level drama that you fight and then manage to get through barely by the skin of your teeth. Huge reward, oxytocin and dopamine. It feels like they're fighting tooth and nail for every scrap of connection, and then they still don't trust it. Their nervous system pulls back from closeness even while they desperately crave it. They only feel safe when they're close with someone, but they only feel unsafe when they're close with somebody, right? Then they feel even worse when they're alone because they feel dead inside. There's a constant push-pull tension. This often gets mistaken for what they call quiet borderline. This is not borderline personality disorder. It's just that most of the people who operate in those circumstances, most of the clinicians and professionals, don't understand attachment theory. So they try to ascribe personality disorders to attachment issues, which are not full personality disorders. It's these people with loud disorganized, they still have lucid moments, but this is their childhood that formed them. They're scared, they're terrified, they're nervous, they're used to getting hurt. Wild chaos. Now they go into adult relationships, and what happens? Well, they initiate extreme love bombing at the start. Massive passion, massive heat, massive overwhelm. These are the people most likely to believe in twin flames, soulmates, and they have a different soulmate every couple of months, usually, is what I usually end up hearing. Not to mock, but they just do because they're so swept away by it. They have 50 soulmates by the time they're 30 years old. But then they freeze. Massive cold cycle next. Hot, cold, hot, cold. They sabotage at the key moments when success and intimacy would fully form. Many of them have what's called delayed oxytocin phobic behavior. Oxytocin phobic behavior is when usually an avoidant person will pull back from feeling closeness and intimacy very quickly. And the disorganized, loud disorganized style, fearful avoidant for many of you, they feel it, luxuriate in it like a hot bath, and then have a delayed phobia response and then freak out and try to escape. So you see them ease into it first and then what? Leap out for it next, okay? Massive emotional turbulence. It's the most likely attachment style, for example, to cry in front of other people because they get so overwhelmed they can't stop. They're clearly overwhelmed, but they also cannot be soothed. It's almost impossible to soothe a loud, disorganized person because the closer you get, the more terrified they are. The more you pull back, the more terrified they are. Avoidant people tend to last 7 months in a relationship, 7 to 12 months, because the dopamine cliff dies at 7 months. Fearful avoidant people are loud, disorganized. They're more likely to last 3 to 4 months. They're more likely to come on incredibly strong in the first 30 to 60 days. And then massively tank once the other person starts connecting back to them and falling in love. Like, wow, you really love me. I'm going to connect with you. What have I done? And they start running away. So after 2 months into the 3rd month, they start freaking out and escaping. By the 4th month, it's a breakup. Sometimes you can make it work if they really like you. If the partner can stay calm and accommodating, you can make it work longer. These are the ones that have rapid, repeated breakups, get back together, repeated breakup, get back together. I had one client come in who clocked their breakup cycle at 200 breakups over the course of 3 years. That's a lot. That's a lot, but that's the cycle. So massive, repeated breakups I usually look at. If I have a couple come in, they've been together 10 years and they've broken up 5 times, like I expect usually one of them is disorganized style. Okay. They are also, though, haunted by the loss of that relationship because they didn't end the relationship because they wanted to. They ended a relationship out of terror. And it felt really good to escape. And then the reality sets in of how bad it feels to be alone. And they're haunted. So they're likely to rebound into the next cycle twice as hard, which then, yes, this person becomes my real soulmate. I was wrong last time. This is the real one. That's where that cycle ends up. Now, I want to be very, very clear here. If you're a partner with somebody like this, I'm not demonizing, but I'm also not here to tell you to placate them or to accept this cycle. Understanding their fight is not about placating or accepting. The cycle must end for both of you. But knowing what's happening will allow you to stay calmer during these fearful cycles and not get swept up in the chaos. It'll allow you to stay compassionate toward your partner instead of forming a stress cortisol association against them that divides you. You'll be taking them less personally and understanding, oh, this is your nervous system. Okay, I got you. We also need to be realistic about what you're experiencing as their partner right now so that we can overcome the issues that you're facing too. This is going to be instrumental in building the intimacy that both of you are looking for. And again, if you're disorganized yourself, this video might be hard to watch. Totally get it. You need to know the reality of what's happening so that we can fix it. Fixing it comes next. I get asked all the time, what is my attachment style? What is my attachment style? What is my attachment style? So I have finally launched the attachment assessment. This is not a short quiz that just spits out an answer after 3 seconds. This is a thorough, in-depth, science-backed assessment. Check it out on my website, adamlanesmith.com, and learn your attachment style, the severity of what you're dealing with, and some next steps you can take right now to build very secure attachment. So how does it feel to be the partner of a fearful, avoidant / loud, disorganized individual? How do you know? Well, let's go through a checklist. Do you feel like you're endlessly walking on eggshells around the other person because you're never sure what will set them off? Do you feel like you're craving connection with them, but you get punished for trying to connect with them? Do you feel like you're constantly second guessing yourself at all times because you're wondering, did I do something wrong? Do you feel emotional whiplash back and forth from the hot and cold, hot and cold? You don't know if they're going to love you or hate you the next day. Intimacy one day, total shutdown the next. Actually, devaluing is very common. I've never loved you. You're the scum of the earth. You're awful. You've always been mean to me. You can actually start to question your own worth and your own sanity. Your body will stay tense, even during good moments. You're just waiting for the next drop to happen. Now, I want to be careful here because, again, loud, disorganized can share similarities with personality disorders. There's also deep, lucid moments where the person is calm and steady and says, I really care about you. I'm actually really sorry about the chaos I put you through. I really hate it that I'm doing this. I'm going to try to figure out how to do this. Maybe they go to therapy. Maybe they have a coach. Maybe they're trying to figure it out. And you see them be just as haunted by their own behavior as you are. Those lucid moments are a key indicator that you're probably dealing with loud, disorganized / fearful, avoidant instead of a personality disorder, because personality disorders are not usually likely to exhibit lucid moments and especially actual genuine contrition and remorse. Again, the hallmark of a personality disorder is it has taken over and they believe their behaviors are fully acceptable and justified. Loud, disorganized, they know they're not, but they can't seem to get control of their nervous system. It's almost like watching someone transform into a werewolf, do a ton of damage, and then shift back out and then cry honestly remorseful tears about what has happened while they were in that mode. That's more likely to be a loud, disorganized individual. So what does it do to a partner's nervous system to be with a loud, disorganized / fearful, avoidant person? Well, number one, your amygdala reprograms to stay on high alert. You're never sure when the next shutdown or outburst is coming. Your cortisol levels begin to spike repeatedly. Your body associates love with stress, and in a bad way. It may not recondition you to crave stress and chaos in the future. It might actually condition you to avoid love and become more avoidant in the future. You can actually become avoidant or become anxious as a response. Their behavior may trigger you in one or the other direction. Oxytocin release becomes incredibly unstable. Bonding will feel good, but then painful. And you'll begin to have some of the symptoms they have in that way of bonding feels good, so you pull away. Your prefrontal cortex, even if it's fully formed properly from secure attachment as a kid, it gets overwhelmed. It's harder to think clearly during conflict. You'll actually feel your logic shutting down and you're trying to analyze what to do and don't know, and you start feeling helpless. Your nervous system will start dysregulating. Your emotional baseline, instead of staying at calm, will become anxiety. Your emotional baseline will become anxiety. Dopamine reward loops will form. Chasing connection will become addictive to you. Not fulfilling, but addictive. I have to chase after them. I have to fix this now. You'll recognize increasing signs of attachment issues in yourself that grow worse over time. Now, I want to be clear. This is the battle they're fighting. They have been fighting this their entire lives. Welcome to the battlefield. You need to understand what's happening so you see what they're doing. Research shows that understanding the challenges we face and the other person that we face, especially, and the symptoms that we're having helps us to calm ourselves down during the experience. Understanding the symptoms someone else is experiencing also helps to maintain compassion for them rather than taking their behaviors personally. That's not about me, what's happening right there. That's your nervous system freaking out. But I want to be clear here. It's not your job to live this way and tolerate pain and chaos and transform your nervous system to please somebody else. And I also want to be clear, the loud, disorganized person is not happy, stuck in their cycle. And a relationship cannot thrive with this issue, tearing apart your emotional intimacy and your connection. So it's time to stop the fighting for good so that you can both relax, you can bond, you can enjoy your time together as a couple instead of worrying about the next sabotage or explosion. So what I want to go into next is how to master emotional intimacy with this type of fearful, avoidant, loud, disorganized partner, okay? To bring out their best instead of the worst so you both get your needs met in peace. First, we're going to have to discuss a difference between tactical approaches that fix things in the short term, now, spot checks, when they crop up, because you need to know how to respond in a way that fosters emotional intimacy together and cuts down on explosions. Then we're going to discuss a longer-term strategic shift, tactical to strategic, that will transform your relationship permanently and give both of you the fullness of emotional intimacy for a lifetime in a safe setting where you no longer have to fear the spikes of chaos and stress. So first, tactical and acute fixes. Biggest thing I can tell you right now is that the short-term fixes with loud, disorganized partners is mostly about co-regulating and emotional safety. Okay, self-regulation is not enough for them. They never learn properly to self-regulate, and they're always looking at danger intruding from outside. Most people are expected, the average person's expected to self-regulate about 70% of the time. A person with loud, disorganized style is almost like a person without skin. Their nerves are exposed to the air, so they feel everything 10 times worse. Much harder for them to calm down until they learn to manage that. There's a longer-term fix for that. But in the short term, co-regulating as a core repair tool is important to learn. And bonding through co-regulation without enabling or collapsing into the relationship either is going to be key. So first, I want you to do a couple things. Number one, the very first step, 4 ways to co-regulate. Number one, you're going to ground the chaos with a calm tone and naming the issue. Here's a phrase to use. You're overwhelmed right now. I hear that, and I'm here. We're safe. Okay, it helps their brain shift from their amygdala-driven panic to prefrontal cortex and awareness. It reduces their cortisol surge. It activates their vagus nerve through vocal tone and presence. So you calm down. You speak slowly, just like I'm speaking right now. You use a lower voice. Hey, I can see right now that you're overwhelmed, and that's okay. I'm here, and we're safe, and we're going to fix this. Okay, calm, come down. When they go up, you stay calm and come down. This is why you had to understand first what their fight was and what it was looking like so you can depersonalize the feelings and say, nope, it has nothing to do with me. I get it. You're overwhelmed. Your nervous system is doing that thing right now. We call it externalizing. Your nervous system is hyperactive. Totally get it. This is where I am. We're here. We're safe. We're going to work on this. Calm, steady. The second thing to do for co-regulation is offering clear structure when they spiral. Sometimes you have to take control of the situation gently and use a phrase like, hey, let's take 2 minutes to breathe. Then let's talk again about this. Let's calm down first. Disorganized partners fear abandonment and engulfment. They don't want to be abandoned or consumed. So structure reduces the fear for both. It stabilizes the neurology by reducing the perceived threat. Hey, we're in a tight moment right now. It's intense. I get that. You don't say, let's have a conversation another time. I can't do this right now. An exact set amount of time. Let's take 2 minutes to breathe, then we'll talk again. Why don't we take 15 minutes? We'll come back in 15 minutes and we'll work on this together. Okay. You set an exact time to come back. This promotes oxytocin release through consistent follow through as you come back. Pause, step away, let them breathe. They regulate. You don't go regulate them. They regulate. Then you come back and you take care of business again. Okay. Now you're calmer. Your nervous system has tuned down. Theirs has too. Set short, safe pauses instead of walking away, and you create a micro containment this way. Look, I get it. You're stressed out. It's a nervous system thing. Let's take 15 minutes. Go do your thing. I need you to come back calm, but let's come back again in 15 minutes and work on this. Okay. Then they do. Then they come back. Thank you for giving me that time. Thank you for letting me know that I was spiraling out. That helped a lot. You're welcome. Let's have the conversation now. Next is to use physical co-regulation when appropriate. Okay. For example, hold my hand. We're going to breathe together, right? Using safe touch reduces limbic system activation and increases oxytocin. We actually have a sensor to feel when the other person's body temperature matches ours. And that's actually comforting. We begin to release oxytocin, which then stimulates GABA, which suppresses cortisol. So it actually activates that. Now, make sure it's consented to. Don't force the contact. A lot of men in particular, when they're stressed out, their nervous system rejects physical contact and blocks oxytocin reception. So actually ask, hey, would it help if I give you a hug? Would it help if we just hold hands right now? Would it help if we hold hands during this conversation? Right? Sit near them, not looming over them. Okay, very important. Have a conversation, sit near, be still, maintain as little movement as possible. Oxytocin, if you can do this, reduces heart rate, lowers blood pressure, dampens the amygdala reactivity. Very important. It stimulates that GABA production, like I said, and crushes cortisol. Okay. So, hey, I'm here. We're going to make this work. Okay. I can see you're getting very escalated. Let's take 15 minutes and calm down. Okay. We came back. Great. Thank you for calming down. Would you like to hold hands while we have this conversation? Is that going to keep you a little more grounded? Okay. Let's do that. Right? Walk right through it that way. I know that a lot of the people watching this show right now have had attachment issues for their entire life. That's why I want to invite every single one of you to check out my attachment repair program. It just might be the jump that you need to go from insecurely attached and lonely and frustrated to fully secure, connected, and bonded in a great relationship like nothing you've ever felt before. Check out my website, adamlanesmith.com, for the attachment repair program. And co-regulation tip number 4. Reflecting their fear without judgment. You can use a phrase like, I know it feels like I'm going to leave, but I'm not. Hear that pause? I know it feels like I'm going to leave, but I'm not. No. Calm, slow, low, pause. I know it feels like I'm going to leave, but I'm not. Verbal mirror their feelings back to them. It disarms their shame. It disarms their panic-driven behavior. Look, I know it feels like I'm going to leave, but I'm not. I know it just really feels like it. I know that it feels like it, but again, I'm not. So take a breath. We're going to make this work. This engages your medial prefrontal cortex to really calm down and stabilize. It promotes attachment-based safety. Hey, I know that you're in this right now. Here's what's actually going to happen. You validate their fear without reinforcing the distorted belief. You stay steady. You stay warm. You're identifying and advocating for their needs with that fearful avoidant, that loud, disorganized partner, and letting them know what's going on. I know it feels like I'm going to leave, but I'm not. What's going to help you feel reassured right now? What do you need from me? You're not sure. Why don't you think it over? And you can come back and tell me tonight at 5 o'clock. I'm happy to meet you there. I'm happy to have that conversation and take care of you. I just need to know what's going to help. So why don't you give it some thought, talk with your mentor, call your coach, use ChatGPT to sort your ideas, whatever you need. Why don't we come back and have a conversation tonight at 5 o'clock for dinner? Now we need to talk about needs. We must talk about needs because fearful, avoidant, loud, disorganized partners, they don't trust their own needs or yours. They grew up learning that needs were unsafe, rejected, punished. You had to take them at the point of a sword, and most people don't want to do that, so it feels awful. They've learned to split. They crave closeness. They fear closeness. They get a little bit, then they run. It's like they steal just enough bread off the cart to run and fill their belly, and then they feel ashamed they stole bread. That's their intimate relationship structure. They feel shame just for having emotions quite often, let alone expressing them. Probably any disorganized individuals watching this video have felt immense shame just at me describing the patterns they're going through. Probably back that section when they heard what they put their partner through, said, I will never have a relationship again. But by the end of this video, they're probably going to text someone and say, I just need to talk to you right now. Right? Very common. Not here to shame in any way, shape, or form. This is pain. When you express a need, it can trigger their internal panic. I'm already failing you, and now that I know your need explicitly, I'll be abandoned for it too because the expectations are even bigger. This creates shutdown, pushback, emotional explosions, not because they don't care, but because they don't know how to feel safe while needing or being needed. So here's how to identify and advocate for needs in 4 steps. Number 1 is identify. Ask questions like this. What do I feel? What am I missing? What would make me feel more connected? What would make me feel more like myself? What would be more sustainable? What would bring me more capacity? How much capacity do I have right now? You can both ask these questions or ask each other these questions and keep it very simple. One clear, actionable need at a time. One thing that would make you feel more connected, more calm, more steady. Use language that stays grounded in the present, not past threats or I need you to not X. This addition would help me feel better. What is an addition that you could make that would feel positive, that would feel healthy, that would feel helpful? Okay. Number 2 is communicate. A phrase. When trigger, I feel emotion. What makes me feel safe instead is need. When this situation happens, here's what I feel. What makes me feel safe instead is this response. Respond in this way instead of this way, and then I will feel this way. Okay? Stay low pressure, gentle tone, warm presence. Avoid accusations, ultimatums, dramatic framing. Never, always avoid these absolutes. When this situation happens, I feel this. What would help instead is this. This is a need. Make sense? Up next, number 3 is a negotiation. Not a transaction, a negotiation. What would that look like for you? What could we do to make that sustainable? Could you do that for me? And if so, what would you need from me? Let them share what feels doable without fear, okay? Build a shared plan, even if it's small and short term. And then number 4, reaffirm. We're on the same team. I'm not trying to control you. I just want to feel close or closer. You reinforce the bond, not just the request, okay? Make success feel like connection, not performance. When you do this, we will connect deeper. You're not performing to please me. So what would help me feel more connected? Well, when we have this circumstance happen, I don't feel connected. What would help me feel connected actually, though, is the opposite, this over here. Could we do that? Is that sustainable for you? And what would you need from me in return? And we are on the same team. I just want you to know I'm not trying to control you. I would just want to feel close. I would feel grateful if you could do this for me. Would you also feel close? How can we make sure we both win here? A couple of extra tips here. Speak slowly and gently. You've heard me doing that throughout the course of this video. Your tone regulates their nervous system if they trust you. And you ask, you don't demand. Would it feel okay if we tried this? Are you up for giving this a shot? I'd love to try this experiment with you. Can we give it a try? Offer room for them to think, pause, adjust. Would this work for you? What would have to change? Never frame your need as proof that they're failing. Okay, use co-regulating phrases. I'm not upset. I just want to feel closer. This is not a failing. I just think there's opportunity here. It's not bad, and you're not bad. I just think there's room for us to grow together. I'm excited to try this with you. Now, the biggest problem here is that needs fulfillment is terrifying for fearful, avoidant / loud, disorganized people. Meeting your needs can feel like a trap. If I mess this up, I lose you. The goal instead is to transform needs into connection, opportunity, growth, excitement. It's not compliance. It's not performance. Help them see that fulfillment is intimacy. It's intimacy building. It's not performance-based love, it's capacity. You give this to me, and in turn, I can give you more love and acceptance and capacity. Every small need met becomes evidence of emotional safety. And this is how you master and craft emotional intimacy with them as well. You share with them and share these conversations back and forth and get both of your needs met. In time, they share their needs deeper with you in a calm way like this, and you understand them, and both of you are thriving and intimate together. Now, there's three main chemicals I want you to track in this. One is oxytocin, that love hormone, right? Released in the absence of stress. It helps calm them because it releases GABA, which suppresses cortisol, and it feels like love, acceptance, and safety. There's a few things that build oxytocin: warm, non-demanding touch, eye contact during calm moments, sharing vulnerable emotions safely, gentle voice, laughter, affectionate rituals together, reuniting at the end of a day, and consistent care without any pressure. Very important. Now, there are also things that break oxytocin: yelling and sudden emotional outbursts, harsh facial expressions or cold silence, breaking trust or reacting with blame and anger, and inconsistent responses, hot one day, cold the next. You might be noticing this is a lot of what your partner accidentally, through their chaos, inflicts on you. Absolutely. That's what's shattering the oxytocin. But over time, they may drive you through pain to do the same in return. Let's keep all of that out of the relationship for both of you. Let's say that's no longer acceptable behavior from either side, and we're going to work towards safety for everybody involved. Dopamine's the second chemical. Fearful, avoidant, loud, disorganized people crave high emotional payoff, but they fear dependency. So they have intense love bombing, but then that triggers them to run away. But so does emotional starvation. So stable, small acts of connection, checking in, small texts, showing up, it creates safe little dopamine hits that stacks over time. And that consistency builds predictable pleasure, which teaches their brain love does not have to be dangerous or chaotic at all, especially when it's coupled with co-regulating, working together through the stress, and then little dopamine hits that are appropriate. Finally, the third chemical is cortisol. Fearful, avoidant, loud, disorganized individuals, they live in high cortisol environments internally, which mimics their childhood. The relationship stress spikes, it's cortisol over and over and over, and that reinforces their escape patterns. So if you can use daily rituals of safety to reduce their fear cycles, you reduce their cortisol. Say it another way: lower cortisol, less panic, less fight or flight or fawn or freeze, more openness. So saying good morning and good night every day. Physical touch at predictable moments. Hug when coming home, hug when separating. Regular check-ins to name emotions calmly, right? This is helpful for every couple. One thing my wife and I do, we're securely attached, but one thing that we do is we rate 1 to 10. Hey, how you doing so far today? 1 to 10. I'm pretty good. I'm a 7. Oh, good. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, I'm having a tough day. It's like a 5. Ooh, okay. Well, what can we do to help you get better? What can we do to improve that score a little bit? What can we do to take care of you? Right? Great check-in moment, great insight, great way to start calibrating your own detection of your own emotions. Now, after doing all of this work, you can start cultivating deeper emotional intimacy by using 2 key approaches. Approach number 1. Gentle curiosity instead of perceived emotional demands. Rather than asking them to open up or go deep, approach their emotional inner self with warmth and respect. No rush, okay? Fearful, avoidant, loud, disorganized people, they associate direct emotional probing with danger because their caregiver probed and then inflicted judgment, rejection, suffocation. Gentle curiosity activates the prefrontal cortex instead of the defensive limbic system. That lets them feel safe enough to reflect and share. The way to do this is to start asking more open-ended, low-pressure questions. What was your day like today? 1 to 10. Get used to that. Okay. What helped you get through a difficult moment today? What do you need more of lately? How can I be more supportive to you in the next week? And normalize them not having any answers. Hey, there's no pressure to explain. I'm just here to listen. Take a moment. Reward their emotional expression when it does come out, even if it's clumsy or small. Thank you for sharing that. I really value hearing what's going on with you. It makes me feel trusted. This is approach number 1, and it's just gentle nurturing instead of probing with a scalpel. And approach number 2 is building shared moments of connection. Don't aim for long, emotional, heavy talks of 3 to 5 hours. Build emotional intimacy at first with small, consistent, shared experiences that don't require emotional risk. Loud, disorganized / fearful avoidant people, they fear intensity. They crave it, but they fear it. But predictable togetherness helps their nervous system learn connection can be safe and steady. These micro moments, if you will, they accumulate deep trust without triggering withdrawal or overwhelm. It's safe and steady over time. Now, you can apply this in a couple ways. One is to choose calm, repetitive connection points. Walking together after dinner, sharing a hobby or a show, listening to music, folding laundry side by side, using light verbal check-ins during moments like that, rituals of reconnection at the end of a day. You can say, "Oh, this is one of my favorite parts of the day is being here with you like this. I just like being around you. I love that there's no pressure for us," right? Keep touch casual and consistent. A hand on their knee, leaning shoulders, sitting close, holding their arm while you walk, sitting close without forcing eye contact. These small moments build and build and build and regulate both of your nervous systems. And that leads to those deeper talks because now they feel safe enough to have the deeper talks with you. Now, these that we've talked about so far are great tactical fixes to address acute issues as they pop up and to build emotional intimacy as your partner works on repairing their nervous system. But the goal is not to create a cycle where you are constantly reacting to their chaos, their fear, and their stress. You want a fully emotionally intimate relationship where everyone stays calm, stress stays low, emotional intimacy stays high, and you can relax in each other's arms every day without worrying about the next explosion. No more sabotage, okay? It's time to build a long-term solution with strategic intention. And I will say the only way to really fix this cycle for both of you is to create a fully secure relationship. Your nervous systems, their nervous system especially, and yours if it's been damaged, cannot heal in chaos. They will only heal in consistent safety. Predictability rewires the brain faster than any intensity ever could. And co-regulation teaches both partners how to stay calm, not escalate. Emotional intimacy in particular is dangerous to the fearful, avoidant / loud or disorganized person. It feels dangerous, but it becomes safe when it's no longer tied to fear over time. So doing the tactical approaches we talked about and responding can calm them and show them that. Oxytocin flows when trust is earned, not when it's demanded. Cortisol levels drop when repair becomes the norm, not the exception. The fearful, avoidant, loud, disorganized person learns that connection won't lead to danger or collapse. And the partner, you, stops chasing because closeness becomes calm and dependable. Now, most of you don't know how to build a securely attached, intimate relationship. That is exactly why I have just released my new video course, How to Build a Secure Marriage. It is the definitive guide to showing you how to build a secure connection at every level between you and your partner so that you fully reprogram through the power of that secure connection, and it repairs both of you over time as well. In that video course, I teach you a new methodology that I'm crafting with my business partner called negotiation-driven relationships. We talked about that a little bit here today in this video so far, but it shows you how to share needs measurably, talk about capacity, and then work together as a team, not transactionally, but as a loving, intimate team to get your needs met as a couple. I also have co-regulating models in there, way more than we have time to go into today, about how to nurture each other through healthy bonding and how they can be co-regulating you as well, because you need that too. You need the love and intimacy and reassurance. It also, in that course, will show you how to rewire your nervous systems of both sides into a fully secure relationship, where you can then build passion that feels safe and doesn't lead to chaos. Safe, intimate passion for a lifetime. Make sure you get your copy of that course now. It's on my website, adamlanesmith.com. It's also linked below in the description. But grab a copy, go through it together as a couple, and build a long-term secure connection. Now, if you are with a fearful, avoidant, loud, disorganized partner, I know the fearful cycles can feel overwhelming at times, but after watching this video, I hope that you can understand their cycles. You can stop taking their behaviors personally, and you can see through the chaos to the good person that you always knew was there underneath. You've also learned through this video how to co-regulate together with them to stop those spirals, and how to turn those co-regulation moments into deep, emotional, intimate connections to get your needs met and finally experience the love that you deserve. And you've learned how to get your needs met by fostering deep emotional intimacy together as a couple. Now, I want to be clear that the tactical tips I've presented in this video are just the beginning of mastering emotional intimacy with a fearful, avoidant, loud, disorganized partner. The real key is rewiring your nervous systems together to create a peaceful, trusting, intimate bond that holds together even during the most stressful moments, so that you can take on life's challenges together as a devoted team. That generates tremendous trust and connection throughout your life together that constantly renews your bond and fosters the deepest intimacy. Now, I've built the system to help you achieve that together as a couple in my How to Build a Secure Marriage video course. Watch it together to understand what's needed from both of you, then take the many good steps presented in that course together to craft your secure marriage as partners. Building this marriage will become easy when you have the exact blueprint, and removing the guesswork makes it easy to get back on track whenever your partner's fears disrupt that flow. Just get back into the course, take the next clear step together, and build more emotional intimacy. So if you want to finally master emotional intimacy and create lasting love with a fearful, avoidant / loud, disorganized partner, visit my website, adamlanesmith.com right now, or click the link in the description below to secure your copy of my new marriage course today. If this video was helpful, thank you for sharing your time with me. I'm Adam Lane Smith, the attachment specialist. Make sure you hit like. It actually helps a great deal. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave me a comment below with your thoughts on this video. And if you're loud, disorganized yourself, did this video match what you experience? I'd love to hear from you.